Hello everybody, I'm Zenith Warrior Princess, the cutest of ghost buns, and welcome back to Bun Plays, where I continue to add numerous different video games into the haunted gaming library. And my buns, today is kind of special. Sonic has been a roller coaster for me. It's been a ride, but today is special because this is the last official, Let's Play part for Sonic CD, because the extras is the last of the Let's Play bit before we get into the first impressions, which I have already scripted, but I digress. I'm feeling really good, I'm feeling great. I got really lucky in the Binding of Isaac. I got some extra trophies in that. I beat Sonic CD. We had a lot of good things going on in my personal life, including stuff related to my transition. Things are going great. And I think one of the big things that has really changed my outlook in a lot of things is Sonic CD. And I know it's weird. You're like, but wait, it's Sonic CD. How did that change things? It's when I sat down to play Sonic CD, I honestly thought that I didn't like this game. That first session, many of you can attest, I was confused, I was overwhelmed, I didn't know what I was doing, and I felt like it was just kind of an okay game. But now, talking to you now, after having played the game 11 times, and I will discuss more on that in the first impressions video, but I played through the game 11 times, partially to get ready for the time attack for this video. I finally get it. I finally get why Sonic CD is so adored by a lot of people. Is it my favorite Sonic? No. And we'll get more into that in the first impressions video. I still think Sonic 2 is better, but I get it now. Sonic CD is a game that really grew on me over my playthroughs, and I'll try to explain as we get through the game. Now, the first playthrough I thought was pretty good. The first half was a little bit weird, and it took me a while to adjust, and I didn't travel through time as much as I wanted to, and the second playthrough for the bad ending was honestly a little bit worse, and I'll say why. It's because the game felt so short, and I know Sonic games can be completed relatively quickly, but this felt very short. But I had to do it in a short fashion, as quick as possible, so I can get this bad ending. So let's start the bad ending. So, you finally make your way back to the final boss, which I think is probably the easiest final boss in all of Sonic so far that I've played. And you get through this, you beat him, Amy hugs ya, you get through all that, and the only major difference is that, this is the same cutscene graphic that was in the original one. So you save Amy from the Death Egg, it plays Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom has actually really grown on me. I still think You Can Do Anything is my favorite opening and ending, but Sonic Boom is good, and you throw the rock at Robotnik, but it doesn't stop him. In this version of events, you don't really stop him, and I do love that ending where he turns and he's getting ready to go, but the rest of the ending is pretty much the same, and he just time travels and he brings it back to where it was. It's just a bad ending. Try again. You didn't do it. Get good, sucker. Get good. Presented by Sega, you're not cool enough. And that's why I did the good ending first, because the good ending is far more worth it, even though there's no Supersonic. But now it's time for the actual thing that made me enjoy this game, the time travel. As I started to play through this game for the robot generators, I realized what this game was really all about. And I initially did it with Tails, then I went back and did it with Sonic on different hardware. But the thing that really opened this game up for me is the time travel. I didn't really do it much in my first playthrough because I didn't know the best path. But, now that I know where the best ways to get into the past and get into the future and where the robot generators are. There's just so much more to the game. It feels more explorative, yes, and I'm so used to a Sonic that is left to right, you gotta go fast, but here, you don't have to exit the stage, you have to go around and you have to find stuff, and I like that design element. Now, the metal Sonic projectors you do not have to get in the Origins version of the game. You don't need it for the good future at all. However, I got it because it's one of the trophies in the PS3 version of the game. Also, apparently, Tails can cut generators in half with his tails. That's pretty badass. So, yeah, the big thing that really sold me on this game was going around, finding the robot generators, finding the projectors, and seeing more of the level design. The verticality initially threw me off, and there is some parts, especially in Collision Chaos, where it's far too vertical, far too soon, but it forces you to go around and find stuff in the past and find new routes to get back and see what each level design does, because it changes in the past, in the present, in the future, and the future has 2 different variations. And I can't play this game any other way now. I want to get the robot generators. Even in stages that I'm not the biggest fan of, like Wacky Workbench, works better because I'm looking for more than just to get to the exit. I'm looking for stuff in the stage. Not everyone is gonna like it, and I still don't rank it as highly because I think the level design is sometimes counterintuitive, especially in the present, because the present is not designed to be left to right. It's designed to guide you to go back to the past. At the same time, it feels like a lot of things block your path in the present, but the past and the future are some of my favorites, especially because of the visuals of the level design. I love how they incorporate like a more woodsy atmosphere to everything in this time period, in this timeline. And it's like, it encouraged me to go back into the past, but it's also the dynamic music that changes as you go and adds this atmosphere of like, I'm actually doing something. Like, I'm the one who's changing events from bad to good. And this one took me a bit because I wasn't really familiar with the conveyor belt gimmick, but you can actually travel through the past and get the generator, and I got that one by accident before, not on camera, but like, there's just so many things to find, and I like Wacky Workbench's aesthetic, but going left to right, the bounciness is a little bit much, but if you're going exploring, I really like how Wacky Workbench opens up. It has more layers than any of the other levels, and it's strictly vertical and strictly bouncing. It's a little bit harder when you're going for the time attack, but also, this is kind of stupid. Having the crusher block be where the generator is. That was a dick move, because, come on, there's crusher blocks in this game. How will I know that? And then there's this one where you have to go back to the past, past a generator, and then go up. So it's like, it's a lot more explorative. Yeah, they're a little bit dickish in the design, but it's still enjoyable. And I think that's something that gets me. It's like Stardust Speedway, my favorite level in the game, favorite damn level. And it has so many layers to it. It still has that fast, high-speed motion, but then immediately, oh, what's this? What's this? Oh, I found the generator. There it is. And it's like, okay, now the task is getting there, now that we know where it is. And it just, I feel like the level design works so much better when you time travel, especially when you know that, you know, there's certain places that are so easy to time travel, like here, Stardust Speedway, favorite zone in the game. Like, I love it so much. I love the music. I love just the aesthetic. I love everything about it, and I've been able to beat it in 30 seconds in both acts. Now this one, Metallic Madness, is where things get a little bit weird. It's better in this version, but in the other version of the game, the disappearing blocks give you like 2 seconds, and it's a pain in the ass. But this is near the bottom path, and I found a lot of the hidden robot generators in Metallic Madness are like the bottom path. And yeah, I had Tails for this one, but like this one you have to go a certain tube and it's a little bit more hidden. But there you go, we got all the robot generators. We can get the good future again, which is the same thing as the time stones. I prefer going for the robot generators, and sorry Tails, I killed you, but like going for the robot generators is so much more fun. And then I found this. If you wait around on the screen, don't press anything for 3 minutes, Sonic just goes, I'm out of here, and leaves. And I'm out of here. Bye. And then, oh god. I had to see this for myself because people were telling me about it. My friend Sharks was just like, are you gonna talk about it? I'm like, I didn't even know this was a thing. But like Phil was telling me from the very beginning, oh no, you gotta Sonic ends it. I'm like, what? And now we come to Time Attack, and Time Attack was this is the first time Time Attack was a thing in the series. They did add it to the digital version of Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. You had like a trophy for beating the game in under a certain time, but this is so much better. And it's just, you know, you got one life, go as fast as you can, beat the stage as fast as you can. And I practice. This is after my 11th playthrough of the game. I practice this shit. This is me knowing where all the levels begin and end. I got good. I found the secrets. I am now Sonic fan extraordinaire, and I can beat the stage as fast as possible. And it's just like, Palm Tree Panic is one of my favorites to go fast in, specifically because, like, while it looks like there's so much in your path, you can just go over so much of it. It's really fun level design. I think my fastest time for a zone was Palm Tree Panic. So yeah, and like I do kind of miss that, like in the Gems Collection version, which thank you Buns for donating, by the way. But in the Gems Collection version, you could actually write your initials, and oops, failed that attempt. Let's restart. Thank you, Origins. I can just do that on a dime here. But Palm Tree Panic is one of my favorites to just go fast in, because no matter where you are in the level, it's just like, all right, get a Speedy Shields, get my Power Sneakers, and the level becomes a breeze. I love it. This is my favorite mode of the game. And yes, I love going for the robot generators, but like the feel of speed for Time Attacks, like, gotta go faster, I gotta beat that time, I gotta be the fastest out there, I gotta do this, I know I can. And my goal was to not only beat the 25-minute window for one of the trophies, but my goal was actually to get as fast as possible in each stage, and this was my best attempt. I practiced this 4 separate times on 4 separate games, and I got good. Guys, Zen knows how to roll now. I know how to roll, I know how to use my speed, and I'm going to show you how to cheese the first boss, because I figured this out by watching a video. But like, there's invincibility in a can, and I thought that, you know, oh, it's gonna wear out. It's probably gonna wear out when I get there. Nope, it doesn't. So you get there, and you can hit the boss from the back and cheese it within like 2 seconds. And hi there. No, now I'm dead. And yeah, this was my fastest boss time, simply because it is so easy to do. But yeah, Palm Tree Panic, cheesed it, crashed it. I love Time Attack. It's so fun. And now we're going to show the final times. Guys, 23 minutes, 42 seconds. My best zone was Palm Tree Panic, but Metallic Madness, I've seen a lot of people get really high numbers in like 6 minutes, and I'm just like, I shaved off an entire minute. I am very proud of this time. This comes from time and patience and trying it out and learning the ins and outs, especially Wacky Workbench gave me trouble at first, but like because it's a very bouncy level, so you're not supposed to speed through it, but like once you know the ins and outs, it's like, ah. And because of that, once you do the Time Attack, you unlock certain things. Now, I didn't do the Time Attack for the special zones, but first thing to note, you can choose between the different spin dashes. You don't want the Genesis dash. I mean, no, you want the Genesis Dash, you don't want the original. But anyway, you go to the extras menu, and the first thing that you unlock is the DA Garden. Now, the DA Garden is really cool because you can play any song from any part in the game at leisure and just listen to it on the screen and play with the visuals, and like you can resize the planet and rotate it and just watch it. It took me a while to figure out exactly how to do it, but my favorite track is the boss track, so I had to play it. I just love that little laugh he does, like ooh, ooh, ooh. That just gets me going. The Japanese soundtrack is so good. And then you also unlock, for doing time attack visual mode, you get the opening, you get pencil test, which is basically like a test of how they were going to do the sketches for the opening, and I thought that was pretty interesting. Not my favorite thing in the package, but it also has the good ending and the bad ending. So all of that is unlocked. Good ending is the better part of the game. So you have that. And then you have sound test, and you can do some really strange things in the game and unlock MC Sonic, the fastest DJ. I told you Sonic was a DJ. Stay off the light speed, Sonic. But, and then Rastafarian Eggman, because okay. And then Metal Sonic is just there, like, dropping the... I think he's holding a microphone. He's just like, I'm gonna drop this mic. This is 8 Mile. Welcome to 8 Mile. And these are all, like, developers who created artwork for the sound test, just, you know, while they're working on the game. And I think this is really cool. And it's just, you put in certain codes, and oh, look! Hi, it's Baby Sonic! Chibi Sonic! Yay! Where are your fingers? It's like, he looks like he's wearing boxing gloves, like it's Strong Bad. Strong Bad. Strong Bad, how do you type with boxing gloves? Beleated. And then you have the sound. Oh, okay. Bat Sonic. Or Kaiju Sonic? This is like if Sonic were a real monster. Chaos Control, indeed. I do enjoy the music in the background, though. It's a little bit epic. It's just like you don't expect it. And then let's see what wonders these sound tests hold. I didn't really unlock them myself because I didn't want to go through the time attack for special stages. Oh, cut western stage, probably. I want to see Sonic the Cowboy. Make it happen. But yeah, these are like some unlockable content. This wasn't on the Gems Collection version, so this is all new, but I didn't want to do the special stage time trial because I don't like getting the time stones. So Sonic drives a Jeep? Okay, and not Sonic. Tails drives a Jeep. Okay. Alright, what do we got next? Give me something. Hit me. Come on, hit me. Secret special stage? Oh god, giant mustache in the background. Now it's really on brand. So we gotta get... We have to get the UFOs from his nose, I guess. And, oh god, I'm getting the motion sickness from this one in particular. I am glad I didn't unlock this. Like, it's interesting, but also... No. It's starting to give me a little bit of motion sickness from just having something in the background being so fixed. I still don't get why aliens are in Sonic. I know Black Doom is a thing, but still, aliens, time travel, like, this was based on Back to the Future, but... What the is that Wario? This is... What the fuck? This is cursed. This is what happens when you do the special time attack. Like, Jesus Christ. Whoa. And it's like, yeah, it's the boss music, but still. I think it's Mario's head with Sonic's body or something like that. I'm not sure. This is so weird. But yeah, when you have a fixed thing in the background of the special stages, it makes it worse for me. Because I'm focusing on the big mustache dude, who's still on brand. He's very on brand, but still. Alright, is that all the curse stuff? Okay, good, we're done. We're gonna breathe. So now I'm just kind of ended off with some final thoughts. Obviously, I have my first impressions video coming out after this, so I'm not gonna say too much. But the thing is, Sonic CD is a game that has grown on me tremendously over the time I've played it. I played this several different times because I completed 3 different versions of the game, and then I had my own personal version of Origins, because, you know, we do the Bun Plays on the Bun Plays, you know, channel, but I have my own personal channel with my own personal trophies, so I technically played and completed the game 4 specific times. And, you know, the best thing for me was not the time stone, screw that, but the best thing for me was the robot generators and the time attack. Time travel in general was so much fun for this. It has been confirmed in an interview that this game was based on Back to the Future, and I could really see it. But the game does not direct you well enough on how to go through the past. Origins does a better job. But I feel like even then, even with saying, oh, touch the past posts and go like that, I feel like the first zone should have at least pointed you out, like a tutorial of like, here's how it works. Yeah, I know it's wishful thinking, but I was so overwhelmed when I first played this that I didn't want to travel back to the past because I was just like, how do I do this? And when I travel through time, I'm like, no, get me back to the we gotta go back, Marty, back to the future. It's your kids, Marty, it's your kids. Sonic has taken over your kids. So yeah, like, it's one of those things where when I first played it, I didn't get it. And I feel like the game doesn't do a good job in the beginning of showcasing how this is supposed to function. This is an explorative Sonic, which is very different from all the Sonic games that have come out at this point. Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 are both, you go point A to point B. Yeah, you don't always go left to right, but you at least know a path that you're supposed to go on. It was never about exploration, as far as I know. I never played the Game Gear titles, so don't sue me, I'm a casual Sonic fan. But I am a fan now because I didn't want to stop playing CD. Once I figure out how the time travel worked, I'm just like, I don't want to put it down. The Japanese soundtrack, it's so damn good. You can do anything. Toot Toot Sonic Warrior. And like, this is what I think Sonic is all about. Contrary to what a lot of people say, and I know Sonic has bad games. However, I think the big thing to note here is that Sonic is pretty consistent in one major thing. Whenever you beat the game, you want to play it again. You want to go back and try it a different way, and I think this game allows you to do that. Sonic CD is the most replayable title out of all of them, not just because it adds time attack, not just because you can go back to the past and the future, but because the level design, while not my favorite because it's not as quick to speed through, there's so much more to see, so much more verticality, so much more layers to it. Whether it be the past, the present, the good future, the bad future. I haven't seen everything, and I've played the game 11 times in the span of a week. Yes, a week. I made sure to get this all done so that I could get it all done for Bun Plays, and I do record these months in advance. But even still, like, Jesus, I played this game 11 times. I'm a little Sonic'd out, but I still want to play it again. I still wouldn't mind it. I don't think this is a bad game. And some may not like it, some may think it's just okay. I think it's a great game. I just think it's not on par with Sonic 2. I feel like it was too ambitious for its own good. And while I do love so much of it, I started out really not liking it. But that's changed my outlook a little bit because I've always been of the mind that, you know, games that are bad, I want to see. And I want to experience and see why they're bad or why games are good. But Sonic CD is a game that changed as I played it. It was in flux. It was a quantum game. And if it can do that for me, it could do it for someone else. That's what Sonic is all about. You can play it any way you want. You have this freedom of choice in CD. And I feel like it really embodies the spirit of Sonic the most in this game. So, in my eyes, like, it's not the greatest Sonic game, but it's probably the most Sonic game. It's all about freedom, it's all about choice, and doing what you want. And as the end credit says, you can do anything. Have a good one, everybody. I will see you in the first impressions videos next time. I'm Zenith Warrior Princess, the cutest of ghost buns, saying, do not judge a game by popular thesis. Play it, and it may grow on you, because Sonic CD definitely grew on me. Have a good one, everybody.